The Sun is a British tabloid newspaper. As a broadsheet, it was founded in 1964 as a successor to the Daily Herald, and became a tabloid in 1969 after it was purchased by its current owner. It is published by the News Group Newspapers division of News UK, itself a wholly owned subsidiary of Rupert Murdoch's News Corp. Since The Sun on Sunday was launched in February 2012, the paper has been a 7-day operation. The Sun previously had the largest circulation of any daily newspaper in the United Kingdom, but it was overtaken by rival Metro in March 2018. In 2012, The Sun on Sunday was launched to replace the closed News of the World, employing some of its former journalists. The average circulation for The Sun on Sunday in September 2019 was 1,052,465. In February 2020, it had an average daily circulation of 1.2 million. The Sun has been involved in many controversies in its history, including its coverage of the 1989 Hillsborough football stadium disaster. Regional editions of the newspaper for Scotland are published in Glasgow, Belfast, and Dublin, respectively. There is currently no separate Welsh edition of The Sun. Readers in Wales receive the same edition as the readers in England. The Sun was first published as a broadsheet on the 15th of September 1964. With a logo featuring a glowing orange disc. It was launched by owners IPC to replace the failing Daily Herald on the advice of market researcher Mark Abrams. The paper was intended to add a readership of social radicals to the Herald's political radicals. Supposedly there was an immense, sophisticated and superior middle class, hitherto undetected and yearning for its own newspaper, wrote Bernard Shrimsley of Abrams' work 40 years later. As delusions go, this was in the El Dorado class. Launched with an advertising budget of £400,000, the brash new paper burst forth with tremendous energy. According to The Times, its initial print run of 3.5 million was attributed to curiosity and the advantage of novelty, and had declined to the previous circulation of the Daily Herald within a few weeks. By 1969, according to Hugh Cudlip, The Sun was losing about £2 million a year and had a circulation of 800,000. IPC decided to sell to stop the losses, according to Bernard Shrimsley in 2004, out of a fear that the unions would disrupt publication of the Mirror if they did not continue to publish the original Sun. Bill Grundy wrote in The Spectator in July 1969 that although it published fine writers, in Geoffrey Goodman, Nancy Banks Smith and John Akas among others, it had never overcome the negative impact of its launch, at which it still resembled the Herald. The pre-Murdoch Sun was a worthy, boring, leftish, popular broadsheet in the opinion of Patrick Brogan in 1982. Book publisher and Member of Parliament Robert Maxwell, eager to buy a British newspaper, offered to take it off their hands and retain its commitment to the Labour Party, but admitted there would be redundancies, especially among the printers. Rupert Murdoch, meanwhile, had bought the News of the World, a sensationalist Sunday newspaper, the previous year, but the presses in the basement of his building in London's Bouverie Street were unused 6 days a week. Seizing the opportunity to increase his presence on Fleet Street, he made an agreement with the print unions, promising fewer redundancies if he acquired the newspaper. He assured IPC that he would publish a straightforward, honest newspaper, which would continue to support Labour. IPC, under pressure from the unions, rejected Maxwell's offer, and Murdoch bought the paper for £800,000, to be paid in instalments. He would later remark, "I am constantly amazed at the ease with which I entered British newspapers." The Daily Herald had been printed in Manchester since 1930, as was the Sun after its original launch in 1964. But Murdoch stopped publication there in 1969, which put the aging Bouverie Street presses under extreme pressure as circulation grew. Murdoch found he had such a rapport with Larry Lamb over lunch that other potential recruits as editor were not interviewed, and Lamb was appointed as the first editor of the New Sun. Lamb wanted Bernard Shrimsley to be his deputy, which Murdoch accepted, as Shrimsley had been the second name on his list of preferences. Lamb was scathing in his opinion of the Daily Mirror, where he had recently been employed as a senior sub-editor, and shared Murdoch's view that a paper's quality was best measured by its sales. And he regarded the Mirror as overstaffed and too focused on an aging readership. Godfrey Hodgson of the Sunday Times interviewed Murdoch at this time and expressed a positive view of the rival's Mirrorscope supplement. "If you think we're going to have any of that upmarket shit in our paper," Murdoch replied, dropping a sample copy into a bin, "you're very much mistaken." Lamb hastily recruited a staff of about 125 reporters, who were mostly selected for availability rather than th.